going on YouTube? Jay's Reefs here. So just wanted to drop in and do a quick live update. This is actually my first live since I've been on YouTube. I've never done a live stream, so my first one. But I haven't done a video in a while, so I figured, hey, why not just jump on and do a live? I was just on Instagram doing a quick little update there. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely jump over there and follow me so you can get those notifications. I typically do a lot more on Instagram than I do on YouTube. But definitely want to get back into my YouTube video. So just want to jump on and do a quick live stream. Show you guys how the tank is doing. Kind of been away. I recently moved houses, so I'm in a new home now. So that's kind of really what I've been up to. Just getting the house ready, doing a little bit of renovations and some constructions in a new home, and finally was able to move in kind of the early part of September, mid-September. And of course I had to move the tank. So you can see we have a whole new aquascape now. The rock structure is totally different now. If you remember before, hey, what up, K-Town Reefer? If you remember before, we had I had more like a pillar look. I had a lot of pillars, and the bottom was all the way open. Fletcher, what's up? Fletcher, right? What's going on? The bottom was all open. You can see a lot more of the sand bed, but fish really didn't have a way to get away. They really didn't have that much space to go, much spaces to hide. So now I think with this aquascape, it looks a lot more natural, and I'm able to, get a good reef look. Like the tank actually looks like a reef now. Excuse those IV lines running down the side there. I'm actually acclimating some fish. Got a few fish I'm gonna throw in because obviously when you move, you lose a few things. And you guys know I love my wrasses. I lost every single wrasse that I had in the move. Queen City Reefs, tank is looking great. Thanks a lot, Queen City. Everything's going good. Just talking about the move from the tank. I lost all my wrasses. Pretty much all of the small fish. I had some firefish, lost those. All of my fairy wrasses, I lost those. And then, all of my sand dwelling wrasses, like the yellow chorus wrasse and, the radiant wrasse. I had a China wrasse, the black and white China wrasse. What's up, Damaris Ferguson? What's going on? China wrasse, I lost that wrasse as well. Really don't know what happened. The tangs all did fine. My angel that I have did fine. Chromies did fine. The Bangai Cardinal did fine. And the yellow blenny, the blenny fish that I have there, forget what it's called, what type of blenny it is, but that one did fine. And for some reason, all the wrasses just didn't do well with the move. I don't know if I left them out of the tank too long or what, but yeah, they didn't make it. So got some fish now. Got some couple wrasses. I'll show you here in a bit because I'm actually getting ready to put some of them in. But just wanted to jump on and give you guys a quick look around the tank. I'll take it off the tripod here and go in a little closer so you guys can see. If you guys got any questions, feel free. So you can see, let me see here. I see something a little blurry. I don't know if that's, you can see that torches are all doing fine. This one here is hanging on. I recently just tested my water actually earlier today, and my nutrients are completely at zero. The phosphates are at zero, nitrates are, everything is just low. And I know it has to do obviously with the loss of all the fish. I don't have nutrients the way I did. So I'm gonna have to start feeding the tank. I haven't even been dosing my reef roids daily like I normally do. And so I know that's the reason for the big drop. How was your China wrasse with your cleanup crew? My China wrasse was great. It's a tamarin wrasse. So tamarin wrasses have very small mouths, so they can't really pick on the shrimp and stuff like that because their mouths are too small. They don't even try. But believe it or not, that tamarin wrasse, the China wrasse, was the secret to my to dealing with the those tube worms. I forget what they're called. There's little tube worms that you see grow on the rock. Like I would literally see him go to the tubes and pick at the tube until he would break it in half, and you start seeing the little slime come out, and he would eat them. So I got to try to get another one of those. But yeah, my nutrients were low, and like I said, I haven't really been feeding the tank reef roids daily like I normally do. Bristle worms and fireworms. No, tamarins really don't mess around with those either. If they're small, I have seen them take on the bristle worms if they're small. But yeah, because their mouths are so small, they kind of go for very small crustaceans. But the chorus wrasse, and I had a radiant wrasse. The radiant wrasse was great for the vermitid snails, Fletcher. That's what it was, vermitid snails. The yellow chorus wrasse and the radiant wrasse is really good for the bristle worms. My radiant wrasse would literally, whenever I was cleaning the tank, if I saw one and I would pick it off the rocks and just let it float in the water column, the radiant wrasse would literally just go right after it and break it apart. So the main goal now is really going to just be trying to get the water quality back, get my nutrients up. You can see, some of the echoes aren't doing too well. This one right here, it's hanging on. It stopped RTNing, so I might get in there and frag it a little bit, but it's stopped now. So it's just been sitting like that. And then the ones up here, they were also kind of stripping a little bit, but they've all stopped now. So the one for the vermitid snails, the one that I had was it's the China wrasse. It was a tamarin wrasse. So I don't know if that's a thing that they do. I don't know if all of them do that. I just know that the one that I had he was a great hunter. He was always hunting and always looking around, and you would always see him picking on the tubes of the vermitid snails. So he did a good job, and you can see like my rocks. I really don't have much, on the tops of the rocks. There are some underneath if you go underneath places where he couldn't really get to, but on the tops of the rocks, he kind of just got rid of all of them. So yeah, so I was sharing on Instagram some questions that I had or some thoughts things that I wanted to do. So I asked you guys as well. So you can see I'm still running the Q Maven 2 light. Love this light. I think it's a great light. I don't have any issues with it. The only issue that I have, and I think I would have it with any light, is the fact that my tank is deep. It's 30 inches from front to back. Most lights are rated 24 front to back, as far as spread is concerned. And so I have these supplemental strips. I have these guys here. They're also made by Z-Lite. They're called the Marine Space, I think. Marine Space, and that one's made by Z-Lite. That's a Q Maven 2. Originally or ultimately, I should say, I'm gonna get 2 of those, and then I'll have like a blanket spread on the top. But the question that I asked over on Instagram is, what do you guys think about me putting? I have the primes. You guys remember I had the primes on my old tank. Putting the primes attached to this guy and extending them out, and that'll give me the chance to push the Q Maven back. I'll move this strip out of the way, and then have the primes over the front. And then that way, because the problem that I have is these lights are good when they're on, you don't see any shading. But right now you can see it's not all blue. You can see that there's white, and that's because these strips are on. Even though I have the whites completely off, it gives you that 460 nanometer look, kind of like T5 look. And so that's why it kind of looks like that. And you still have some white in there. So at night, when these go off, because these usually turn on, I have them on for the video, but usually they turn off, I think, at about 7:30, something like that. When they turn off and the tank is all blue, I only really can enjoy the corals up top, but everything that's in the front gets kind of shaded. The torches get shaded, acans, zoanthids, everything in the front kind of gets shaded, because I don't really have anything in the front. So I could raise the light up, but I think, these lights were made to be this close to the tank. I mean, these are the stock legs that came with the tank. I'm sorry, with the light, and that's as high as they go. And to be honest with you, since I've had them like this, I'm seeing outstanding colors in some of the corals. I mean, you can see this pink lemonade has amazing colors. That back there, that's a millie, some type of millie. That's actually a maricultured millie, and it looks great. Even this one here, this is a sunset millie, but you can see the coloration on it. It's got a real bright orange to it. It looks really, really good. I didn't have that coloration on the primes. So getting great coloration. So I like them being that close to the tank, and that's why I don't want to raise them up. So I think ultimately I'll get two, but in the meantime, I think I'm going to throw the prime. But you guys let me know. What do you think? What do you think about that? Do you think I should throw the primes up there, or should I just pull the trigger and get another one? Let me see if I missed anything in the comments. YT Reefer Man says I'm building a 40-gallon breeder, SPS only. Cool, man. Moles Reefs. Hey, what's up, Moles Reef? Thanks a lot, man. Just checking the comments, making sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan right now. Curious to know what you guys think. I'll probably make an actual video about it and talk about it. But most likely, I'm gonna just do it and then make a video about why I did it and show them already on there. It's most likely what I'm gonna do. But wanted to give an update. I'll give you guys a side shot, side boob, like Dave's Nano Tank used to say, a side boob. Show you guys a side shot. This is kind of, I have a couch right here. You can see I have a couch. So just sitting here on the couch, that's my view. Get to see, that's going to look amazing once it fills in. Got the torch corals in the background, and acros here. Of course, the green star polyp, war coral. Got some zoanthus down here, acan. So got a little bit of everything from this shot. So fish think I'm going to feed them. So I did something a little different with the flow. So I wanted to show that as well. Because I had the tank set up as a peninsula in the other house, I had the stairs. It was in front of the stairs. So now that I have it against a wall, you can see I put the two primes in the back like I had on my 57 gallon. Just because the way the flow that comes out of the primes, it's I'm sorry, not the primes, the Nero 5s. It's a very wide flow. It's not a direct flow. It's a wide flow, so it's good for blowing across the top of the corals. As opposed to blowing down the peninsula side the way I had them on this wall before pushing this way. But if they really would only blow to about like here, and then that would be it. You would have to turn them on 100% for it to make it across. So I don't think they're made to be on peninsula style tanks, at least not these. But across the back, they do great. Since I put them on the back, I've actually seen a lot more. The torches open up a lot more. They look a lot happier. You can see this dunking coral, how shaggy it is. It looks amazing. That's actually grown a lot. I'll come on this side. You can see that's grown a lot. So yeah, so I have the Nero 5s on the back. Still have the gyro on this side blowing across the top. And then the other thing that I did differently is on that back side, you can see I have another gyro behind the overflow. And one of those real big J-bowls that's on a post back there, kind of almost acting like a wave box. When I turn it up high, the water really starts to rock. I kind of have it down right now. So do you target feed any of your corals? Queen City, no, I don't. So when I'm on my routine, I do a broadcast feed of reefroids daily, which is another reason why some of the cores aren't doing good, because the nutrients are so low. I haven't been feeding the reefroids the way I normally would. But I do a small amount of reefroids every single day. And all I do is I don't even mix it. I take a little spoon. Actually, I'll show you the spoon right now. But I have it here. See, my reefroids are here. Take this little spoon right here, and I'll just dump a scoop or two of that in the tank every single day. And, that's it. Keeps the corals happy. Corals have great polyp extension. Keeps them opened up, always looking for food. But no, I don't target feed. I used to target feed in the 57 gallon. I would turn all the pumps off and target feed and let them sit for 30 minutes or an hour, whatever. But towards the end of that tank, I kind of stopped doing that and just started broadcasting. And I wanted to see if there was any difference. And I really didn't see a difference with target feeding or broadcast feeding. I think the corals that would benefit from target feeding would be more like your acans, or the trumpet corals, even the dunket corals, like, things that can take food in as soon as you give it to them. I think, they'll benefit more from the target feeding, but, SPS corals, torch corals and stuff like that. I don't think they really care because they can get it out of water column. Now I do, uh, before I do water changes, when I do water changes on a regular basis, before I do water changes, usually what I will do is I'll cut the water, the return pump off. I'll leave all the flow on, turn the return pump off, and I'll dose Reefroids, and I'll dose, and that's usually a bigger dose. I'll dose a little larger dose of Reefroids, and I'll dose Acro Power in the tank, and I'll let that sit for about maybe 30 to 45 minutes while I'm cleaning the glass. That's usually what I do. I'll cut everything off, clean the glass, and by the time I'm done cleaning the glass, the corals will have had time to eat everything that's in the water column, or whatever, and then I'll do the water change. So that's the only other thing that I do. I think you said something, Queen. My daughter is watching with me. Do you mind giving her a shout out? Her name is Lillian. Hey, Lillian, how you doing? What's up, Lillian? Lillian, you have an awesome mom. You have the best mom. She's letting you stay up and watch YouTube with her. You got the best mom. Tank looks good. Fletcher says BRS has a Q Maven on sale. Really? Okay. I gotta check that out and see what's the price going for, Fletcher. You know what? How much they cost? Maybe I might have to go over there and get them. See what they're talking about. They actually did a video on the Q Maven, um, and that kind of caused some issues for me, to be honest. When I watched that video, um, the way they did their test, they made it seem like the Q Maven wasn't as powerful as I guess it really is. And they kind of said towards the end that it was more for LPS or lower light corals. And when they said that, I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I should raise the lights up on mine since I have it. I have SPS. Even though everything was looking good, I figured maybe I can just bump everything up. And so I did. I bumped up the whites, I bumped up the UVs, and I can tell you that was the worst thing I ever did. Like the corals just reacted negatively. Everything didn't look, started looking bad. That was towards the end of the tank before I moved the tank. And so I ended up bringing everything back down. I think I talked about it on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably heard me talk about it. But I brought the lights back down and everything started recovering and looking better again. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it had to do with maybe the height that I had my lights from the tank compared to how they had theirs. I think they had theirs a lot higher. And maybe that's why, they got the results that they got. I'm not really sure. But, um, these lights are definitely powerful and definitely capable of keeping SPS. I mean, you can see I have nothing, but SPS. I mean, it's a majority of SPS here. And when the water quality is doing good, everything looks great. I mean, the water quality is bad right now, and you can still see, everything is still looking pretty good. PC Rainbow has nice coloration on it. So this colony looks nice. This is a strawberry shortcake. You can see it's starting to color up after the move. It's starting to look pretty good. So I'm extremely happy with these lights. Like I said, the only issue that I have is the front to back spread. And now that Fletcher says I can get that they have them on sale, maybe I might grab another one. What's up, Brian's Aquariums? How's it going? Aqua Power is good stuff. How long is your tank? So my tank is a 4-foot tank, 40 inches, 48 inches. I'm sorry, 48 inches, 4 feet, and 30 inches front to back, and it's 24 inches tall. So it's 150 gallons. T40, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Tank is looking awesome, T40, man. Love the colors on it. Love that aquascape you have there. Yeah, man, Acro Power is great stuff, man. I dose Acro Power, throughout the week. I'm not really on a schedule, but I will get back on a schedule. I used to dose it daily. So I'm definitely going to get back on a schedule, maybe even put it on a doser again. The only issue that I had with Acro Power putting it on a doser is it tends to kind of, the lines tend to get gummy and a little like, you get a lot of like, I guess you call it, I don't know what you call it, calcification, I guess. So that's kind of why I stopped using that. Any tips on making torches fully extend? Making torches fully extend. So I can say that they like moderate flow. If you put them in too much flow, higher flow, the tentacles will get skinnier. Sometimes, depending on the type of torch it is, it'll get longer. but most of them will kind of stay kind of short and retracted, kind of like how mine are. So this is a Dragon Soul, and this one usually can extend pretty long. But because my tank is what I'd like to consider a higher flow right now, though the tank is kind of settling down for the night, so the flow is kind of all turning down. But usually it's kind of ripping. You can see this one's kind of getting a good little hit by the power heads. But I think if as long as you don't run too much high flow, obviously you need some flow, but if you really want your torches to extend, give them a nice flow, but not to the point where they're like leaning to one side and they're getting battered, but enough to where it's like really turbulent and they're kind of just always moving, and you'll see them kind of stretch out. Maybe tomorrow or when I do my update video, you'll see everything out. I just did a water change. I just glued some of these torches kind of on this rock. They were on the sand bed before, so they're kind of just pissed off at me right now, but they'll open up soon. Let me check the comments, see what I missed here. T40, thank you, bro. Tank is good as well. Keep up the good work. Thanks, T40. I don't see them now. I think they sold out. Oh, you mean the Q Mavens? Okay, yeah. I missed that, man. I haven't really been on checking on DRS that much, but definitely want to get another set. Definitely want to try those out. Let me show you guys the Refugium. Needs work. Needs a lot of work actually, but I'll still show you guys. So got some macros in here, some blue macros there, some red ones, some regular Callirpa, and some feather Callirpa. So want to get in here and obviously give it some TLC as well. Just finished cleaning the upstairs tank, the top tank, but got to clean this as well and figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what I want to keep in here as far as livestock. Excuse me, because I'm treating this as a display tank. I want to have some fish in there, some life. So I'm not really sure if I want to put seahorses, or that was actually suggested to me on Instagram, seahorses, but not really sure if I want to do seahorses. I was actually originally thinking like pipefish, maybe like a pair of pipefish, and then maybe just like some shrimp, like the sexy shrimp and all the different types of shrimp. But that's probably all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put a lot of fish down there or anything like that. I was thinking of putting a lot of nano fish and just making it like a little nano aquarium. But I think I want to focus more on the algae and maybe just have like some pipe fish. So thinking of putting more rock along the back and then growing algae on the rocks, like putting some algae on there, some macros on the rock. The light that I'm using is a Q Maven. I'm sorry, not Q Maven. That's the Z light. I think it's called the E200, I believe. E200 light. I'm sure you guys have seen other YouTubers use it. I think Aaron's Aquarium has one, and Appropriate Reefer has one. That's an awesome light. I love that light. It's really plug and play. I literally just put it on and turned it on. That's pretty much it. I really didn't mess with the settings or anything, really. It's probably like at 60% or 50% now. I'm not sure. But not using my protein skimmer yet. I was using it at the other house. Since I've been here and I lost all the fish, I turned it off because I knew, the nutrients were going to go down because I lost all the fish. So I didn't want to, drain the tank of nutrients, which I know that's already happening. So now that I bought fish, and I'll show you guys now, I got some fish acclimating. I'll show you what I have there. But now that I have fish, when I put those fish in, I'm going to turn that on at the same time because I'm adding a lot of fish. I think I'm adding like 13 fish. So I'm going to turn that on at the same time. On this side for my water container, you see I'm using, I think this is the Innovative Marine 15-gallon reservoir. So it's pretty cool. So it has like a little drawer. Let me go to this side. It has like a drawer right here. You open this, and this is how you fill it. And then you have the tube on the inside, and then that's the Innovative Marine pump. Or this is the controller, and then that's the pump that just pumps water into the tank. So works out for me. I like this because this will last me 15 gallons, lasts me about 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. So it's pretty good. Of course, I have my display screen here, my Apex. It's kind of how I see my Apex. Take a quick look if I need to turn anything off. Need to get with the Apex experts. I want to put a picture here. I had one before and I don't remember how I did it. If anybody knows, let me know, but I want to put a picture back here. So you can see I'm dosing 28 mLs of both alk and calcium. I'm using ESV bionic, dosing equal parts. I've always dosed equal parts. So, and then of course, dose the Acro Power. My dog is saying hi, a little Yorkie here. Dosing the Acro Power, and then from time to time, I'll dose magnesium if I need to. Of course, now I'm feeding Omega-1 marine flakes. I actually kind of like this food. It keeps the water clean, and the fish love it. So let me show you guys what I got for fish. I'm getting ready to put them in now. They've been acclimating, they're ready to go. You guys can see how I acclimate my fish. I actually use IV lines. You get these on Amazon, and basically you can control the drip. So, and here I've got a pair of firefish, Royal Grama, and then I've got a school of damsels and chromies. I think I've got 4 of the bell damsels, the yellow belly damsels, village bell damsels, I think they call them, and the blue-green chromies. So I'm going to throw all those in at one time, and hopefully we don't get too much aggression. And then over here, got my prized pintail wrasse. I've always had one of these. And then I also have a exquisite wrasse that's probably under the heater. Yeah, he was under the heater. There he is hiding. But I'm sure this water is ready. They've been acclimating. You can see I've got the drip there on the IV line. They're ready to go. But I'm probably going to give these a little bit more time just because they're more delicate. But these guys are about to go in right now. So hopefully that'll help me get my nutrients up, get things looking a little bit better. Everything looks okay now, but I want to get the coloration that I had before. I want to get that back. So I've got a lot of fish. Queen City says, sumps, good looking sump. I like that idea. Thanks. How many fish are there? So right now in the tank, I just have 4 tangs. So I've got a purple tang, yellow tang, Tomini tang, and the Selfin tang. And then I've got 1 flame angel, 1 chromies, one of those. I keep forgetting what it is. It's a goby of some sort, I think, or a blenny. I'm sorry, I forget the name of it. It's some type of blenny. And then I have a Banggai cardinal on the other side there. And that's it for fish. Before I lost all the fish, I had a bunch of wrasses, fairy wrasses, all kind of wrasses, and I lost them all. So I'm gonna start restocking now. Is the flame angel behaving? Yeah, flame angel's actually doing pretty good. I've had him since he was really small, but he acts like a tang, to be honest with you. When I put the algae sheets in there, he picks on the algae sheets. He picks on the algae around the tank. But I've never seen him picking at any of my SPS or any of my corals. So he's one of the angels that are, I guess, reef safe with caution that are usually pretty good. Pet Mother Life, thanks a lot, man. Thanks. The other angel fish that I think you can kind of get away with that's not fully reef safe is I think the Coral Beauty. Those guys are pretty good about not messing around with coral, so I might get one of those. But for sure, I'm going to get all the reef safe angels again. I used to have a bunch of those, but I actually lost those. Not to the move, I actually lost them before that. It was, I think it was just to aggression. I think that I had, I think that purple tang killed most of them, but he's actually been pretty good. I added the flame angel in here, and he hasn't caused any issues with that one, and we'll see. He's actually been pretty fine, but I'll probably use an acclimation box. I didn't use an acclimation box last time. I just threw the angels in. So this time when I get the the new angels, I'll add them in an acclimation box. But the reef safe angels are the Bellis angel, the Watanabe angel, the swallowtail angel. Like all those fish are pretty much reef safe. And the reason why they're considered reef safe is because they eat plankton in the wild, like they eat out of the water column. So naturally, they don't eat corals. Like most other angels will eat naturally, they'll eat like sponges and stuff like that. And that's why they nip at corals. It's not that they're trying to eat the coral, but they're looking for sponges. They're like nipping. But the Genicanthus species, the Bellis angels, and all those kind of angels, they eat out of the water column. So naturally, they look for, reef plankton and, mysis and all that kind of stuff. So they don't bother corals. So I'm gonna put you guys on hold real quick. You guys can keep chatting. I'm gonna put some of these fish that are done. I'm gonna start scooping them out, putting them in the tank. So I'll still be here. K-Town says both my Coral Beauty and Flame Angel are model citizens. That's good to know, K-Town. I wanted to get a Coral Beauty as well, but I was waiting on one. Like I've seen a few of them in my LFS, and a few of my LFSs, but I'm looking for the ones that have like the really, really orange center. Like they have that really, really nice orange belly. I saw one time and I didn't get it. I was on my way to work and I should have gotten it because I haven't seen one again. So hopefully I can pick one of those up. But let me put these fish in the tank so I can't see the chats right now. Let me turn off this drip. So curious to know how everyone's tanks are doing. K-Town, I miss you guys live streams, man. I know you have a playground of tanks in your man cave there in your room. Definitely want to get on here and maybe start doing some more live streams, start doing some more update videos. Now that we've moved in, we've done all the construction, all that stuff is over. Now I can really start focusing on, just having fun with the hobby again, putting out more videos for you guys. I love making the videos. It just takes time. I mean, you guys see the way I edit videos and stuff. I don't really do point and shoot. Maybe I'll start doing point and shoot. So that way, it's a lot easier to just put the videos out. But I kind of have fun editing the videos and doing all the changes and transitions that I do. Just pouring out some of this water so I can catch these chromies and damsels, because for sure they'll give me a run for my money. All right, so I don't have a net. I'm just gonna see if I can use my hand and get most of these guys out. All right, let me see. Let me check the comments, see if I missed anything. It says I'm not sure if they're reef safe. I'll be there if you do. Fletcher, what are you talking about? And you said you're not sure if they're reef safe. Are you talking? Oh, I said I like the Potter's Angel. Yeah, so Fletcher, I had one before. The Potter's Angel is kind of in the same boat like the Flame Angel and the Coral Beauty. It's kind of hit or miss with those. I can tell you, I had one before, my 57, and he was great. He was a model citizen for a while. The only thing that one would go after was acans. I can tell you that Potter's Angel, that particular one that I had, went after acans. I had another one after that one that didn't bother anything, but I think those are just like the Coral Beauties and the Flames. They're kind of hit or miss with those. They're kind of like people. They have their own personalities. All right, let me see if I can dip these out with my hand here and just drop them in the tank. Haven't added fish to the tank in a while, so we'll see how the fish react. First one was a chromies. Hopefully that big chromies that I have doesn't cause an issue. Second one is a bell damsel. Let's see. Come on, guys. Oh, I forgot I had a royal gromma in here as well. There you go. Royal gromma's in, bell damsel's in. This is another bell damsel. So I got 4 of those bell damsels. I got 4 of the blue-green chromies. At least I think I got 4 bell damsels. I think I put all 4 in. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is another one. Maybe I got 5. Lost count. And then let's see here. Got my firefish. Let me pour some more water out. Curious to know how you guys' tanks are doing. What kind of videos? I've never done a live stream, so I've never actually gotten to talk directly to the viewers and you guys that watch videos. But what kind of videos do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer the point and shoot type where you just kind of just get in and just talk about the tank, kind of like we're doing now, or do you prefer the edited, I guess, movie style videos? Like, what do you guys prefer? All right, here we go. I'm curious about that. I want to know if it's worth doing the, I call them movie edited videos, I guess. That's a firefish. I love those firefish. They're nice. So surprisingly, the chromies is swimming with the other one, and he's not even, there's no aggression. He's just swimming with them. That's actually pretty cool. I thought there was going to be some aggression, but it seems like, there we go. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we got 4 of the chromies. Got the bells in there. Yeah, that's it. Just trying to get some more life in the tank, get some nutrients in the tank. Hopefully the corals will start doing better. All right, let's check the chat here. Love your editing. Thanks, Robin Hood. All right, let's see what I missed here. Says, okay, I was thinking about one. I do have a few A-cans. Mo says A-cans must be the tastiest corals. I had filefish, copperband, and hippo tang. Try. Oh, wow. I didn't know that yeah, I guess hippo tangs can be known for eating A-cans. Queen City says, ever had ick or velvet issues? Queen City, hold that thought. I'm going to come back to you on that. KMO, just want to see what else is here. Home Run Dodgers. Point and shoot live streams are good. All right, Mo, I'll keep that in mind. I like doing, I'm kind of liking the live stream. Maybe we'll start doing more of these. Point and shoot. K-Town Reefer says point and shoot. My royal grandma keeps everyone in check besides the yellow tank. A little bit of everything. I just like good sound and picture. Okay, cool. Queen City. So you asked me if I ever had any problems with ick or velvet, and I will tell you, yes, I have had multiple times. I've had issues with ick and velvet. In my 57-gallon, the beginning stages of that tank, I had nothing but issues with ick and velvet. And I think a lot of it had to do with the LFS that I was getting my fish from. It just seemed like everything I got from that particular LFS, I would always have issues with it. And since I haven't gone to that LFS anymore, and I've been a little bit more responsible, like I really don't just go to the LFS and pick up fish and buy them right away. I'll tell you today, when I went to the LFSs, I went to 5 different LFSs today. I always do that whenever I go out and buy fish. I kind of hit them all. We have one strip here in Miami called Bird Road, and we have 4 stores, in a row on that road. There's 4 stores back to back, and they're like within a mile of each other. So I'll usually hit all 4 of those stores, and then there's actually I went to 6 because there's another store where I get my water from, because I still use natural seawater, and then there's another store south of that. So I kind of go to all the stores, but before I would just buy fish, like I would see a fish that I'd like, check if it's eating, and I would just buy it. But I wouldn't examine the tank. I wouldn't look at the tank and see if there's anything else in the tank. I would just buy the tank. And so now I'm sorry, buy the fish. Now what I do is I kind of really monitor the fish. I kind of look at how that fish is behaving in a tank. And I also look at all the other fish in the tank. I look at how all the other fish, if there's any fish that are flashing, anything like that. Just to make sure I'm getting a real healthy specimen. And then also I kind of go for the most aggressive fish. If I see a fish being aggressive in the LFS, meaning like he's the first to grab food when they feed the tank, he's kind of staying at the top of the tank. Those are the fish that I usually go for because I know they're going to be hardier and stronger. And then, I've always been a quarantine person. I've usually always had a quarantine tank. And, I would set up a QT and quarantine fish. I unfortunately, I don't have one now. When I moved to the new house, I didn't set up a quarantine tank. I'm sure I will in the future. But usually when I set up a quarantine tank, it's more so to uh, treat the fish, prophylactically, but also just to get the fish eating and healthy. I'll tell you why I don't really quarantine for ick or velvet, and that's because I use natural seawater. And who knows what I'm putting in my tank when I use natural seawater when I do water changes. So I've always seen, even though I've had times where I've gone fallow, taken everything out, quarantined everything that I put in the tank, and you would still see spots here and there. And I think a lot of it has to do with the water that I use. I'm using natural seawater, so I have UV sterilizers on the tank now, and really, I just focus on making sure that the fish are healthy when I buy them. That's it. Just making sure I'm buying good quality fish. I don't buy fish if they just got to the store. I usually like to see them, there for a few weeks. My friends always say that you lose the good fish that way because people buy them. But I'd rather just wait, be patient, and make sure the fish that I'm getting is a good fish. So I typically don't have any issues with that. Marine velvet, I can't really say that I've had issues with marine velvet. If I have, I'm not aware of it, but I do know that I've had issues with ick. For sure, I've had issues with ick. I don't really worry about it. Like I said, if the fish is healthy, I really just keep them fed, and they typically their immune systems will work for them. And as long as they are able to build up a slime coat, and they settle in and they're able to build up a slime coat, when the ick cycles again and they drop off and they're ready to disperse again, it's harder for them to penetrate, I guess. They seem to do well. So all of the fish that were in here, the tangs, the flame angel, um, not the banggai or the linny, but all of the tangs have had ick before. The flame angel, he had a real bad case of ick at the old house when I first put him in, but he recovered. He did fine. He's doing great now. So Queen City, are you having issues with ick or velvet right now, or what made you ask that question? Just curious. All right, let's see. A friend of mine in Miami said he's not too pleased with the stores around there. I'm curious, Mo, what stores does he go to? I'm curious to know what stores he go to. I'll tell you, there's a lot of stores in Miami. I guess because we're close to the Caribbeans, or we're close to the Keys or whatever. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. We have a lot of LFSs here, which is a good thing. But they are hit or miss. There's some that are really really good, and then there's some that are just horrible. There's some that the fish always look bad. They always have ick. They always and unfortunately people kind of go where their neighbor. If the LFS is in their neighborhood, they'll go to that one. Me, I'm different. I actually passed two LFSs that are near my house to go to the ones that I prefer to go to. I don't go to those two specifically for that reason because the fish always look bad. They have ick. They don't look the best. So I always go to my LFS of choice. And I typically don't change. I don't go to new stores. If I see a new store, I don't just go there and buy fish. I'll go in and look around. But I'm curious, Mo, what stores your buddy goes to. I have 4 QT fish. I have 4 QT tanks for fish. and treating with copper before they go into my main tank. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would use cupramine. Um, I would use cupramine as well. I'll tell you what I do use when I am dealing with ick in my tank. What I do use is Polyp Lab Reef Medic. I treat the water with that. And then the food, when I feed the fish, that's usually when I really feed them a lot of frozen. Of course, I'll soak it in a lot of garlic. But I do, what is it, Metroplex by Seachem and Focus. I'll mix them together. So Focus is like a binding agent. I mix them together and I mix it on the food and I feed it directly to the fish. So apparently that's supposed to help for ick. I don't think it does anything for marine velvet, but it's supposed to be really good for ick. And that's really the method that I do. I usually just feed a lot of that. Um, the key is you have to complete the dose. Like you have to feed it. Like it tells you to feed it until the symptoms are gone, and you kind of have to stick to it. And that's usually how you beat it. I think that's the same thing with all of those quote unquote reef safe ick treatments, the rally and all that. I think a lot of people will get like one gallon and just use that until it's gone, but it tells you to use it until the symptoms are gone and until you don't see it anymore completely. And I think that's where a lot of those reef safe treatments fail because I think it's user error. But the reef safe polyp lab, I think it's the medic. That one works well for me. That in combination with the Metroplex, I usually do pretty good with that. Haven't really lost much fish to ick. There's one fish that's like kind of like my kryptonite. That's the powder blue. I haven't been able to keep one of those. I've even quarantined one successfully. Got him eating, nice. Quarantined him, put him in the tank, and he still came, broke down with ick and just didn't recover, didn't do well. For some reason, those guys just don't do well in my tank. Um, I may try one more. I think this time. Sorry, guys, my dog just hit the stand. I may try one more powder blue. Um, Maybe I'll quarantine it a little longer and get it eating, get it nice and fat, and maybe once I stop the copper, the Cooper meeting, I'll keep it maybe for observation and just try to keep it in there as long as I can and just get it used to me and get it real healthy. And maybe that'll be my last shot. Um, T40 says, "Are you using a calcium reactor?" No, T40. I'm actually dosing ESV bionic. Here, I'll show you my dosing setup. So you can see on this side, I got my doser set up. Got the Neptune's dose and the DDR alkalinity and calcium. My dog's about to come get in the picture. Sorry, guys. But that's what I'm dosing. 2-part, equal parts, 28 mils. Jay, that's the stuff for 2-part. Yeah, ESV works great for me, man. I've been using it for years. I love it. You guys can see. Give me a second. Let me turn on the light here. Got one of those Amazon Chinese light bulbs here. So you can see I added a power source. You can never have too much power when you're around the tank. So I put one here just if I ever need to pull power, I can plug right into the front. I don't have to, look anywhere else. This is actually pretty cool. This is made by a company called AC Infinity, and it's a fan that keeps the electrical cabinet cool. It has its own temperature probe inside the cabinet. You can see the cabinet's at 79 degrees, and the fan's actually on right now. And basically what it does, if it reaches 81 degrees, the fan will turn on and it stays on until this will fall down to, I think I have it set for 77 or 78, something like that. But it just keeps the cabinet, the electrical cabinet, cool. If I go on this side, you'll see the cabinet. It's a mess right now in there. There's wires everywhere, but I got to get in there and clean it out. I got this towel here because I had a small drip when I moved the tank. I'm sure it stopped. I'm sure it stopped now because of the corrosion, salt creep probably sealed it up. So I can just take that rag out. I just haven't done it yet. So, but yeah, K-Town, I'm dosing 2-part. I know a lot of people talk about calcium reactors and they have a lot of success with calcium reactors, but I've never used one before. I know Murphy's Aquatics talks about them all the time. I'm trying my luck with the powder blue and Achilles tang that are in my 55-gallon QT now. I found some small ones, and I was able to get them to eat frozen flakes already, as well as seaweed. No, that's nice, Queen City. Queen City, do you have a YouTube? I'm gonna look for you when I get off the stream. Do you do videos? Do you put out videos and updates and stuff like that? I'm looking for more channels to watch. I know with everything going on with COVID and stuff like that, we're all kind of home, but none of us are kind of putting out videos, so it's really not much to watch. I'm one of the. What's up, Kevin? Yes, just started a year ago. Okay, I'll give you a subscribe, Queen City. I'll definitely go and find your channel and give you a subscribe. But that's cool. I'm curious to know how you do with the powder blue and the Achilles in the 55. What size is your display, Queen City? What size are you gonna put those in? Those chromies look real nice, swimming across the front. There's a show on your coast on the 14th, Jay. What show is that? Is that Magna or what show is that? Is that our Reefapalooza? I have a 310 that they will go into and 140 in the sea. Oh wow, you've got multiple tanks. Nice. That's nice. Yeah, that three. I would love to see what that 310 looks like. Are they all reef tanks, Queen City, or do you have like fish only, or what do you have going on there? Palm Beach. Okay, there's a show in Palm Beach. Subculture is putting it on. Okay, I gotta look that up on the 14th of November. I'm gonna check that out. We haven't had much shows. Um, Obviously, with everything going on, hopefully they start back up. Okay, all right. I'll have to check that out. Subculture. I'll look them up. Where can I find their information? Are they on like Instagram or something? Subculture. I'll drop the link. Okay, cool, man. Thanks. I'll definitely check them out and see maybe I can take a ride up to Palm Beach. Palm Beach is maybe about a 2 hour drive for me, maybe. I think maybe even more. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean the dirty South, man, all the way in Miami, completely all the way down right before you get to Homestead, and all the way down to the bottom. What else you guys got going on? Um, Tank is looking nice now with all these damsels. Can't wait till they start schooling, but they're actually doing pretty good right now. I have another one in the sump. I'm wondering if I should put him in here right now while I just put those in. But he was, it's the same type of fish. It's a bell damsel on the yellow ones. But for some reason, when I had him up before, I tried it before and I had five of them. And man, he was extremely aggressive. Like he killed all the other ones. So he's been in the sump now for months. Even when I moved the tank, he stayed in the sump. I actually didn't even know he made it through the move. I thought he died, but my nephew threw a truck in my sump yesterday, and I looked over there to pick it up, take it out, and I actually saw him under a rock. So he's still down there. I didn't even know he was down there. Now I got to start throwing food down there. But wondering what do you guys think? Should I take him out and throw him in the tank while I just put those in, or maybe give these guys a couple days to settle in and create some territory and then throw him in? Maybe that'll give them a little edge. Or maybe if they all make it and they're all like happy and they create a community, I may just take him to the LFS and not even risk it, not even put him in. Maybe I'll just take him to the LFS and trade him in because I don't want to mess up a good thing if they're, because these were all in the LFS for maybe about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. They were all in the same tank, and they've been doing good together. So I'd rather just I got all four of them because I didn't want to break them up and cause any aggression. I got all four, and I figured hey, throw them all in at one time and see. I think they're going to be fine. Everyone says that those bell damsels are not as aggressive as other damsels, so We'll see. I'm missing one chromies though. I wonder what happened to him. I put in 4, and I only see the 3 of the new ones. I only see 3 of the new ones. Let me see if yeah, I only see 3 of the new ones, and I don't see the 4th one. So he must be hiding in a rock somewhere. Queen City says the 16 gallon is only one with corals. The 310 will eventually be with corals, but fish only right now. Getting everything I need to keep up with the corals. The 140 Peninsula will be SPS only when ready. Nice. Yeah, that's nice. I think that's the best way to do it, Queen City, is um, to have species specifics for corals, like an SPS tank, LPS tank. I think it's a lot easier to do it that way. When you're kind of doing a mixed reef, it, it's a lot harder to keep everybody happy. I mean, with technology and everything we have now, it's definitely a lot easier than it was before. But I think that's the best way to do it. Oh, there's that 4th one now. He just came out of the rock. Oh, he's looking pretty good. I think he just didn't see the school. Now that he sees the school, he'll probably catch up with them. Yeah, my idea is SPS only for 310 and LPS for 140. Miguel Salty says, do you have a little bit of sand because of the high flow or just preference? Actually, Miguel, I only have a little bit. I like sand. I mean, I like wrasses. I like a lot of wrasses. So I usually have a nice size sand bed. When I moved the tank to the new house, I took out a lot of the sand just because it when you stir up the sand beds, all that crud and detritus and stuff comes out of the sand. So I just took out a lot of the old sand just so I didn't make things worse when I did the move. But and I have a new pack of sand right next to the tank on the floor. I just haven't put any in yet. So I don't want to do too many changes at once and putting all this fish in and stuff like that. So probably next week I'll start scooping in some sand. But yeah, I definitely will have a lot of sand. I'll have a nice size sand bed because I'm going to start getting back my wrasses. So I think I saw a question from T40. T40 said, "Can I see the sides in the back and the back of your tank? What size tank?" Yeah, it's a 48 by 30 by 24 high T40. Sure, man. You can see the sides in the back. It's 30 inches front to back, so it's a real deep tank. Um, Let me turn this light off. Let me see if that gives us a better view. I'm still moving, so there's like boxes everywhere. Give me 1 second. Let me turn off this light. Let's see how that looks. I don't know if that made it better or worse. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. All right. So on the side, you can see it's 30 inches front to back. I have a couch right here. So when I'm sitting down on my couch, this is actually me laying down. You can see that's what my view is when I'm laying on the side of the couch. I like this view because you get a little bit of everything. You have the zoanthids up front, some star polyps, got some acans here, some trumpet corals, got the torches in the background, and then the Duncan coral all the way back there, and then of course the field of SPS. So I think that's going to look nice, especially when all these SPS start growing in and fills up all that space. I think this is going to be a nice view. So that's the peninsula side. I'm not sure if T40 wanted what you wanted to see in the back, but you can see I have a gorgonian back there. That's kind of folded over. Got to clean the glass back here. I use my scraper, and that's as far as I can reach. But one day I'll have to get in here and really clean it. But you can barely see it from the front. So can't wait for all these SPS to grow in at the top. You can see that Sunset Millie, the coloration on it on these Q Mavens is amazing. That orange, the bright orange, it almost looks like the Aqua SD Rainbow Millie. So I should have known that something was wrong with my nutrients when I see this. This is a bubblegum digi. This has always looked great in all my tanks, especially in the 57-gallon. And it wasn't looking. It hasn't been looking too good. And I should have known it's because of nutrients. But I just thought it might have been flow. I thought it might have been position. I wasn't sure. And then once I saw this torch kind of looking like this is an Aussie Gold. Once I saw this one kind of melting away, I'm like, man, you know what? I think if there might be something wrong with the nutrients. So that's when I took my water today and got it tested. This is another Aussie Gold, and you can see this one is perfectly fine. It's smaller, but it's perfectly fine. Dragon Soul, that's an Indo Gold. Not sure what that one is. Just a regular torch, I guess, with yellow tips. That one down there on the sand bed is a maricultured. I think I got that from Aquascape. And then this is a Rasta torch. But the torches are looking good. It's just this one that's what was my indicator that something was wrong. All right, let me see here. Do you measure par? Queen City? No, I've never measured par on this tank. I measured par once on the 57-gallon that I had with the primes, and that was more so just to make a video. Someone asked me about it, so I made a video checking the par. But I typically don't check the par. I kind of just use my eyes. I usually always start small or light, I should say. I don't put too much heavy light in the beginning, and I just kind of slowly raise it over time until I see the corals start to color up the way I want them to color up, and then that's usually where I stop. So I can check the par if you'd like. I could probably maybe do a video and get some par readings on this light, but I had not checked the par on this tank. No. Let's see here. Looks great. Thanks, Timothy. T40 says it looks nice. Thanks. Mole says, what was your NO3 and your PO4? So Mole, everything was zero, man. Everything was completely zero. There was no reading at all. I took it to my LFS. They have one of those new machines now. I forget the name. It's some kind of new machine now that it tests all the parameters at one time. So they took a sample and they put it in like this little cylinder, and they put it in this little electronic machine, and it tests all the parameters at once. It tests magnesium. My magnesium was 1377, which is okay. It's not bad. My alk was 425, spot on. My alkalinity was a little high for me. It was at 9. It was exactly at 9, which is really high for me. The natural seawater that I use usually comes in at about 7.3, 7.4. And I usually keep my alk somewhere around like 7, 8, maybe closer to 8. But I guess because of all the corals with the low nutrients, they haven't really been growing, and that's probably why the alkalinity has been spiking up. And I haven't been paying that much attention to it. But it's it's at 9, so it's not too high, and that may have something to do with why the pink lemonade looks so happy. He probably likes the higher alkalinity. Um, but yeah, the NO3 and the PO4 was at 0, and that's the reason why I'm adding more fish, because I got to get the nutrients up. So adding more fish, will definitely get, I'll have to feed the tank more, obviously, but that'll get more dirt in the water, and that'll be beneficial for the corals. 28 people watching. Nice, man. How's everybody doing tonight? Just giving a quick update. I just did a move on the tank, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick look. Timothy says, wow, those torches. Mo says 24 KT torches are sensitive. Okay, is that you're talking about for the Aussie ones, Moles? The Aussie Golds? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I noticed that those guys kind of like react. Even if I just put food in the water, you see them kind of draw in. They react very quickly. Producer Reef says, late to the party. Nah, man, we just getting started. Just getting started. Don't worry about it, man. We're going to have some fun. Hang out for a little bit. I wish we could do hangouts, man. Matthew, beautiful tank. Thanks a lot, Matthew. Filthy says, did you have any spike in nutrients when you removed the sand? No. So actually, Filthy, I just moved a house. I moved houses, and I moved the tank to a new house. And I took out sand when I moved the tank, just because obviously when your sand bed sits for so long, it's gonna get all that detritus and you know, whatever those things that they say that you have in your sand bed when you stir it up. So I ended up taking out a lot of the sand, and I bought new sand to fill it back in, and I just haven't gotten around to do it. But I'm gonna put more sand. All right, Mose, thanks for stopping in, man. I'll see you. We'll talk, Mose, because I'm thinking about putting the primes back on the top of this tank and attach them to the Q Mavens. So we'll talk, buddy. Maybe I'll put the diffusers that you gave me. I'll put those on there, man, and you can kind of talk me through a good schedule for those. But yeah, I just haven't had a chance to put some sand back, but I will now that I'm into trying to get more fish. I'm definitely gonna have to get my wrasses back. And so I know most of my wrasses will need sand. So any plans for more fish? Let me see. Did I miss anybody else? Aquaspin. Producer Reef, Aquaspin. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Aquaspin. Um, any plans for more fish? So yeah, so I just added four of the green chromies. So those green chromies that you see right in the center of the top. The big one is new, the one that's chasing the other ones around. He's been there. He's not new. He's been in the tank for since the start of the tank. I've had that chromies for years, and I just added four more smaller ones. So the smaller ones that you see swimming around that he's chasing around, those are all new. Literally just added them in on the stream. And then I also added in four of the bell damsels. You can see them over on the corner of the screen right there. Those four I just added in. And then I also added the pair back there, the pair of firefish that you see in the back there. Um, I think those are the African version. I know that they have like a. I think the African version has a little more black around the tail, a little more black pattern, and I think they're a little more expensive. Those guys cost me, I think it was $20 or something like that, 21 bucks each, something like that. So those are the more expensive ones. I think the other ones are usually like $12 or $13. So I want to say that those are the African variety of the firefish. And then I also have a what is that noise? Give me 1 second, guys. I think my dog is choking on a bone. What are you doing? Are you all right? All right. I also have an exquisite wrasse and a pinto wrasse that I have to add to the tank, and I still have them drip acclimating, but I'm about to actually test I put the salinity on those now and drop those in. Um, 26 people watching. How's it going, everybody? This is actually my first live stream, so I'm happy to see you guys are joining in. Definitely think I'm going to be doing these a lot more. Watch out for dino with the zero nitrate and phosphate. I use Brightwell neophosphate and neonitrate for keeping nutrition up. Okay, Fletcher, thanks, man. I'm going to definitely watch out for that. Um, I think I'm reading zero, but I don't think it's at zero. I mean, I definitely feed the tank. I mean, I definitely think that there's some trace in there, but it's just not enough to read. But definitely now with me adding more fish, and I'm gonna get back on my regimen of feeding my reefroids daily. For sure, my nutrients are gonna go back up. You know, I know they are, so I'm not gonna really worry too much about it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I usually do water changes on a weekly basis. Now, since I moved, it's been more of like a twice a week basis, but I'm gonna get back onto my weekly water changes. So I think that also helps with keeping the dino away. Um, Give me 1 second, guys. I make sure my dog is all right. Sounds like she's in the kitchen. Yes, she was. All right. But yeah, I think the water changes help me out with keeping the dinos and all those things away. Aquaspin is the photometer that tested. Oh, okay. All right, perfect. That's what it's called, the Aquaspin. Yeah, that thing is pretty awesome. And I think they only charged me like $4 for the test, so that was pretty cool. Um, you can run the skimmer at night only on a timer also to help get nutrients up. Okay, Yeah, I think now that I put the fish in, I'm putting more fish in. I know these are smaller fish, so I don't expect the nutrients to jump up too high right away. I do have the skimmer on one of those Wi-Fi outlets. I have the skimmer on that only because the reason why I have it on that Wi-Fi outlet is not really for the timer, but because the Wi-Fi outlet doesn't restart when there's a power outage. So I have specific things on that outlet that I don't want to turn on when the power turns off and turns back on, just in case I'm not home, and the skimmer is one of them. I'd rather the skimmer just stay off until I get back home, just in case it overflows or anything like that. So I have that on that timer, and then I also have that the gyro up top, because if the power goes out, the water level drops because I don't have a check valve, of course, so the water level drops into the sump. So what I don't want to happen is if the power turns back on, that pump turns on and starts shooting water all over the house before it fills back up. So I have that on there, and then I have my auto top off on there as well, and that way that stays off as well until I get home, just in case just in case something happens and power goes out. You don't want things to get out of whack. So that's kind of my method behind that. The reason why I do that. So I do have the ability to put that skimmer on the timer. So I may do that starting tonight. I may have it run just through the night, like you said. I think that also helps with pH. Have you ever dealt with brown diatom algae on live coral? Juice, I'm gonna say I don't think I have, man. I don't brown diatom algae growing on live coral. The only brown algae that I think are brown issue that I've had on an actual coral is the brown jelly that you get on euphyllias. I've had that before, where you get that brown jelly on the euphyllias, and it's pretty much a loss when that happens. I don't personally know of any methods that can treat that and bring it back to life. I don't know if anyone else does, but usually when I see that, it's pretty much done. But I haven't had that happen a lot. I didn't know it caused it before, but I've later found out, or I've since found out, that I think that usually happens when there's some form of injury to the euphilia. When there's something that kind of hurts the one of the tips or something like that, I think that's what causes it. It's kind of like a reaction, like an infection almost. Um, Queen City says, you planning on adding a lid for those wrasses? So surprisingly, Queen City, knocking on wood, let me find some wood. I usually don't have an issue with wrasses jumping. Since the life of this tank, I've never had a lid on it, and I've had upwards of maybe about, I'd say maybe 12 or 13 wrasses at one time. Um, and my theory, I'm a wrasse guy. I love the wrasses. My theory is, one, obviously the depth of the tank. A lot of people say wrasses are jumpers. I don't think any fish is a jumper. I think that's just the environment that they're in. They kind of dart up to the top. In a while in the ocean, they would dart up and they wouldn't jump out of the water, but they would just dart up to the top. And because they dart up in a shallower tank, they end up outside of the tank. I think with my aquascape being you know so far down, they don't make it to the top. They don't dart all the way out. And then also the turbulence that I have on the top, I think it kind of lets them know where the top of the water is. And so I haven't had any issues, knock on wood. I don't know if that's true or not. And it's just kind of like my interpretation of why I haven't lost any wrasses. But just maybe one of those things where it just hasn't happened yet. So maybe now that we're talking about it and the first wrasse I get jumps out, hopefully it doesn't happen. But yes, I do think I'll probably get a lid. I just don't know what kind of manufacturer I'm going to go with. I don't want a net lid, and I think that's why I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I want to get a custom, one of those custom lids, maybe like an all acrylic lid. Um, I just haven't found someone to build it yet. Haven't found a lid builder yet. So I'll probably start looking into that. How's the aluminum stand holding up? Any issues? Thinking of getting one for my new build. Hey man, Timothy, the framing tech stand is awesome, man. It's holding up great. I don't see any rust anywhere. I did cover mine with the car vinyl. I bought that vinyl that you would use to wrap a car with. I did cover the front portion of mine, but the inside of the stand is still bare. I didn't cover the inside portion of it. and I don't see any rust anywhere. I don't see it, it's not wearing. I moved it, when I moved the house, when I moved the tank, I moved the stand whole. I didn't take it apart. I moved it just as it was. And I checked everything, checked all the joints just to make sure everything was still tight, and nothing came loose. Everything was still intact. Everything was tight, so I didn't have to re-tighten anything. I just put the tank back on top and it was fine. So I love the stand. I think from now on, if I build a tank, I'll always go with that aluminum stand because it's definitely a sense of security for me. With a wooden stand, there's always that sense of if you bump the tank too hard, you'll see the tank kind of shake. Doesn't mean it's going to fall, but depending on how you build it, there's always that chance. With the aluminum stand, I'm not worried about it. What are your settings on your AI primes? So I did a video, Aaron, a few years ago on the AI prime video. I'm sorry, on the AI prime settings, and I actually have. If you go look for that video, I have a link on that video where you can download the schedule. I don't currently use the primes right now, so I couldn't really tell you what the settings are. I don't remember, but you can definitely check out that video, and in the description you can download that link. If it doesn't work, a lot of people usually just email me and I'll send them the link to or I'll send them the schedule. I don't have a problem doing that. So you can send me an email, Miami Reefs. It's at miamireefs.com. You can just send me an email and I'll get you the schedule. But I don't remember the settings. Sorry, man. I do remember I had it like it would go up and down throughout the day. So it wasn't a straight line. It was more of a, I forget what they call it, but David Zaxby does it where it's like intervals. It'll go up for a few minutes and then go down and then go up and go down throughout the day. And that's kind of like my idea of how it will be in the wild with the clouds passing. The light's never at one intensity; it's always up and down. So that's kind of why I did it that way. But I started from the David Zaxby kind of platform and then just went from there. Uh, when I had brown on my corals, it was Dino. Okay, Fletcher says when he had brown on his corals, it was Dino. Who asked that question? Juice asked that question earlier. So Fletcher says he had Dino on his corals before. I don't think I've ever dealt with that. I have dealt with brown algae on the rocks, during cycles and stuff like that, but never on the actual coral. Only when the coral dies, like the SPS corals, when they die, you'll get that brown algae that grows on the actual skeleton of the coral, but never on an actual live coral. So Fletcher says Dino will grow on I guess live corals. Right on, I'll look for that. Yeah, Aaron, just check it out, man. Let me know. You can send me an email, but it's there. A lot of man, I've had so many people emailing me for that schedule. I've actually been tempted to tell Aqua Illumination they need to make it. They need to make me a signature because there's been so many people that sometimes it gets a little overwhelming trying to respond to everybody and keeping track and making sure I respond to everybody because I like to interact with everybody that comments and I like to make sure I reply back. And so when so many people are emailing me, sometimes it's hard to keep track. But a lot of people have asked me for that schedule, and I'm guessing it's been working for a lot of people because I haven't had anyone really come back to me and say that they've had negative results. I know one person did tell me that they had some issues, but I think they were running an all SPS or softy tank, and I think that the lighting schedule that I was running probably got a little too high because I had more. It was mainly SPS in my 57-gallon that I was using for the primes. So it's probably too much for the LPS. Gotta hit the sack. Hope you do another live stream soon. Peace. All right, Timothy. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll definitely probably be doing this more often. Um, Maybe I'll pick a day, man. I'm off on Sundays. Um, you know, so maybe Sundays is the day. Maybe we'll start doing live streams on Sunday nights, man, or maybe Mondays. I don't know, but yeah, maybe we'll start doing this all the time. Let's see. When you had those three on your SPS tank, all your corals looked good. Thanks, man. Yeah, that tank was definitely seasoned, man. It was definitely a smooth sailing ship. Everything looked great on that tank. The corals were doing good, but it wasn't. I would say it wasn't just the lights, man. I think it had a lot to do with the routine that I have for that tank. I was doing weekly water changes, feeding reef daily, You know, just everything that I was doing that I was very, very meticulous with, and I was staying on top of it, and I had the perfect. I'd say I found the perfect dose. I mean, I had that tank for years, so I had enough time to really figure out what that tank required. And so, you know, it got to the point where it was. I think this tank, you know, eventually I'll get there, but I'm gonna have to learn the tank. You know, right now I'm still learning what the tank needs. You know, this is my first time using 150. You know, I'm running a 150-gallon tank, so I'm gonna have to learn. You know, what this tank needs, how I should feed it, how I should feed the corals, and all that kind of stuff. So, well, thanks, man. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about adding the primes to this because I know the primes work. I know that they're good for the for the tank. For the corals, you know, even though they're not radions, you know, a lot of people think they're weak, but you know, they're actually pretty good. So, all right, I'm gonna change the pods here. You guys, let me know if you can still hear me because one of my earpods went dead, so I'm switching to the other one. Let me know if you can still hear me. Okay, so I didn't lose the sound. I can hear you perfect. All right, perfect. Thanks, K Town. Thanks, man. All right, man. Let me gonna, gonna turn the light on real quick so that I can Kevin says what? um, I'm gonna turn the light on real quick so I can check the salinity on the wrasses. I let them acclimate a little bit more because I want to make sure that they were good. So let me check the salinity on those guys real quick, and then they should be ready to go. Let me know what you guys, if you guys have any ideas for wrasses, what other wrasses you think I should get. So today I'll be adding a pintail wrasse and an exquisite wrasse. Um, I've got a pair of flame wrasses that someone's holding for me. Hopefully they still have them, but I've got those guys that I'll probably get as far as fairy wrasses. I think I definitely want to get a solar rinses wrasse. Oh, they're perfect. They're at 1.25, so they're ready to go. These actually came in really low. I'm kind of shocked because normally that LFS that I went to that I got them is usually pretty good about their salinity, but maybe they're having some issues. But they had the salinity down at 1.013, which I've never seen it that low. So they're probably dealing with, maybe they were dealing with something before and they just wanted to, I guess, minimize the issues with ick and all that kind of stuff. So let me take out this. If anybody haven't seen this, if anybody's new to the stream, so I'm using IV line and just put it on an algae magnet to hold it in the water. That's how I acclimate my fish, and then I use the thing that comes with it to control my water drip rate. And you know, it's easy. It's an easy way. You just put that in. You squeeze this little tube to get the suction going, and then that's it. You use this to control your drip rate. And I've been doing that for a while, and it works. It works well for me. So you can get them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. You can buy them on Amazon. Um, all right, these wrasses are getting a little antsy, so let's get them going here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me pour some of this water out just like I did the other ones. So I'll show you guys when I acclimate fish. Whenever I acclimate fish, I always have a bubbler. I usually put a bubbler, and I also always have a heater. Sometimes what I'll do, depending on if I'm home by myself, I'll set my AC temperature to the temperature of the tank. So like I'll set it at like 77, and then that way the water temperature I know in my house will be 77 because it's going to go to whatever the temperature is in the house. But whenever my wife is home and baby or whatever, I don't mess with the AC. I kind of let them be. So that's when I'll add a heater to the bucket. So um, it works for me. Let's see. My LFS, K-Town says, are you going to, let me see. Oh, T40 says, are you going to leave your live stream up? Yeah, T40, man, this is going to count as an update. Just because I haven't been able to do an update video for a while, I'm going to leave this stream up. K-Town says salinity is at 0.22 max at the LFS. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, usually it's at 0.22 on all of mine as well. The wrasses, they're usually in 0.25, like they're normal. They usually keep at least the one where I get most of my wrasses from. That one is usually at 0.25. I gotta watch that Chromie. The original Chromie is kind of having a field day right now. I may have to take him out and put him in the bottom for a little bit. Give those guys a chance to settle in. It seems like he's only chasing that one though. Yeah, I may have to take him out. I can catch him easy though. Actually, why don't I feed the tank before I put the wrasses in? Let me feed the tank a little bit. Maybe that'll make him settle down too. I'm feeding omega-1 flakes, omega-1 marine flakes. I like them. They don't dirty up the tank too much. You can feed them. You know, I usually feed a lot when I feed. You know, I usually put quite a bit in there. Feed them a couple times throughout the day, maybe once before I leave for work in the morning, and then when I get back, feed them again, and then maybe once again before I go to bed. Feed the tank a couple times a day. I used to feed frozen a lot, but since I've moved, I actually haven't fed frozen that much. I've only been feeding flakes. All right, let's see. They just want to save money on salt. So they keep fresh in the same tanks, K-Town. I know I'm late on that comment, but that's funny. Yeah, you can buy your freshwater fish and your saltwater fish from the same tank. All right, let's get these wrasses going before they start jumping out. Yeah, they're getting feisty. All right, let's see. Yeah, this pintail wrasse is already jumping. Queen City, I hope you didn't jinx me. I've never lost a wrasse to jumping, but this pintail wrasse is already like showing me that he's gonna be a jumper. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he'll let me catch him by hand. Let's see if I can. Try to pour some of this water out. So how's everybody been doing with the whole COVID-19 quarantine and all that stuff? Like, has anyone had to deal with it, or just curious about that? I can tell you for us down here in Miami, you know, it's we had a little spike. I think it had to do with them not shutting down for the holidays. We kind of still had 4th of July. We still had Labor Day. We still had all these different events during holiday times, which obviously didn't help. But it seems to be, the numbers seem to be going down now. I can tell you that I dealt with it directly in my family. Actually, my wife was tested positive. She was asymptomatic. She didn't have any symptoms, but she tested positive for it. But she was fine. I think she had it for, I think she tested positive 2 times before she went back to work. Before she tested negative. She's a nurse, and at her job they get tested every week, and so that's how she found out that she had it. Let's see what we're missing here. Paul Clark just tuned in. Are you doing weekly water changes? Yeah, Paul. So I'm getting back into my routine. So I was telling everybody I kind of moved, kind of been out of the swing of things, but I'm getting back into it now. So I was kind of doing more of like monthly water changes, but I'm gonna get back into doing weekly water changes because that works best for me. Man, I'm gonna have to get that fish out of there. chromies. I just put some new fish for the guys that are just tuning in. I just put some new fish in the school of chromies and the damsels, and that big chromie that I've had for over 3 years. He's not having it with the new guys. He's kind of chasing them around. So I might relocate him down to the sump for maybe a few weeks to give them a chance to settle in. Acro Beater says, "What did I miss?" And K Town says, "Well, where do I start?" Yeah, Acro Beater, I was just kind of giving an update. I'm gonna leave the stream up, but I'm just showing everybody I kind of moved the tank. Well, not kind of. I moved the tank. I moved houses, so I ended up moving the tank. So you can see there's a total new aquascape now. Dealing with some low nitrates right now, low nutrients. So give me a second, guys. Let me get my net and let's get that fish out, because if not, it's not going to end well for those guys. It's usually pretty easy to catch these fish because I feed my fish all the time. But now, of course, that I'm saying that, it might be pretty hard for me to catch, but we'll see. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I could try to feed him again. I mean, it's not real aggression. What do you guys think? Maybe I should leave it. It's not real aggression. Like, he's not beating him up, but he's just kind of chasing them around. Wondering if it's more of just him establishing dominance as it is to him really trying to beat everybody up, because he's kind of doing the thing where he's shaking his tail. It's probably just establishing dominance. Maybe I should leave him for a few minutes and see and watch him. Let me look at the comments. K Town says, barely up here in Canada. They were pretty good. Fletcher said everything was good. Kevin says, thank you, Jay's wife, glad she's okay. Yeah, man. Acrobita says, life 100% back to normal here in South Florida. Really, Acrobita, where do you live, man? Where in South Florida? Because I'm in Miami, and we still have to wear masks. I still have to wear a mask, and our restaurants are still not fully back open yet. Still have our restaurants at like 75%. And you still can only have like 6 people at a table here in Miami, Florida. Martin County, no mask. Oh, wow. Good for you guys, man. Yeah, in Miami, we still have to wear masks at every business. You can't sit at bars. You can't drink at bars yet. And restaurants are only at 75, or I think it's 75% capacity. They're not fully open yet. The theaters actually just opened up. Movie theaters just opened up, I think, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Had a couple of friends, families that got COVID. Where's the SC button? This is going to be good. My Collier is mass, but restaurants are at 100%. Where's the SC button? Oh, you mean me trying to catch the fish, Kevin? Yeah, I was thinking about waiting, but it seems like I don't know if he's just going after that one fish or if he's going after all of them. Yeah, it seems like he's going after all of them, man. Let me see if I can catch him out. I'm usually pretty good at this, but let's see. Let's see. I know CJ is the undefeated fish catching champ. CJ is the undefeated fish catching champion of the Marine Society. Let's see. Let's see if I can give him a run for his money. I should have had my other stick to corner him. Let me get my other little stick here. Give me 1 second, guys. Kevin kind of challenged me now, so now I kind of want to do it. Let's see what I missed. So game on. That's funny. Mine is doing the same thing right now. K-Town says I need a straw. All right, let's see here. Yeah, he's being a butthole, man. I don't like that. So let me see. For me, what has worked, it's usually the corners. It's usually when I can get him in a corner and he kind of knows that I'm like after him already. So let's see if I can get him in a corner. That might work. Let's see. Come on, man. Don't make me look bad on TV. Don't make me look bad on TV, buddy. Come on. All right. Now he's going to hide in the rocks, of course. Where did he go? Where did he go? Yeah, see, he knows these rocks already. Where did he go? All right. He took off. He's hiding now in the rocks. Little punk. He didn't want to put up a fight. I don't know if I can count that as a win or not. The fish is hiding from me. Says, looks like this live stream is going to be a minute. Producer says, Chromies do that when there's a group. Never understood why, and they pick each other off. Really? Okay. So, I mean, this one is, I've had him for a while. So what I was hoping was that I can put 4 in and, I don't know, maybe they do good. It seems like he's just chasing each one, but he's not really like trying to kill them. It just seems like he's probably trying to establish dominance. So I don't know if I should leave him or, you see he's chasing them all, but he's just kind of chasing them out of the water and out of the middle of the water. When they come into the middle of the tank, he kind of chases them to the corner, but then he stops. He doesn't keep going. So that's kind of what makes me think twice. It's not, when I think about aggression, it's just like tangs. When I see tangs chasing each other, it's like, okay, when people say aggression, if they're just chasing each other, that's not aggression. If you've ever really seen a tang show aggression to another tang, he'll literally like kill them. He'll push them against the wall and like stab them to death. I forgot about the wrasses. Let me put the wrasses in real quick before the. All right, first one is the pintail wrasse. It's one of my favorite fish. It's a beautiful fish. And then the second one is, man, he swam straight into the torch coral. That's not good. The second one is the exquisite wrasse. So most likely those wrasses will find a hole and we won't see them anymore for the rest of the night. But I'm sure by tomorrow, when I feed the tank, they'll be out and ready to go. The wrasses are usually pretty good about settling in quick. Yeah, I think I want to catch that chromies out because it seems like he's not playing nice. You gonna come back to the front and give me another shot? Or you're gonna hide back in the rocks. Yeah, see, he's smart. He goes straight to the rocks. Let's see if I can do this without knocking down any corals. Oh, he has a little hole. I see his hole. Yeah, Yeah, he's hiding underneath that rock. All right. Well, I guess fish 1, Jay's Reefs 0. I'm just gonna have to let Mother Nature run this course, see what happens. I think they'll be all right though. I'll just kind of feed the tank a lot for the next day or so. Hopefully that'll keep him happy. Hopefully he's just trying to establish dominance. I know a lot of people say, I've heard that before, what I think producer Reef just said, that the chromies will kind of pick each other off. So not a surprise. I was just hoping that I can get him to school. Back at it. So he says he's the goon. Yep, I had 6. Now I have 2, and they go at it. Leave the net in. Kevin says leave the net in. He needs a good stern talking to. pull all the rock out. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm very happy with Escape the way it is now, man. So I'm definitely not gonna do it. I'm pretty sure I'll catch him. It's just a matter of when and where I catch him, or when and how I catch him, I should say. Because most likely it'll have to be like first thing in the morning when I feed the tank. I'll probably get like one shot at it. When he goes up to the top, I'll probably just snatch him out. That'll probably be the best way. He's on to me now, so. But he's definitely being a punk. So, man, I'm actually thinking about putting the primes back on, man. Maybe I might do it right now while we're on the stream. What do you guys think? Kevin says we need proof. All right, well, I'll tell you what. What I'll do is I'll record it and I'll put it in the next video. And Kevin, I'll give you a shout out when I do it. If I do it off the stream, I'll also post it on Instagram. How about that? Yeah, I think I'm gonna hook up those. Man, he's really going at it though. Yeah, see, as soon as I get close to the glass, he hides. Come back up to the front, man. You were just being bad. Someone said leave the net in. Okay, yeah, if he goes to that corner, I can catch him. But he won't go to the corner. He's staying in the middle. Yeah, see, he goes straight to his little cave that he has over here. Straight to his little cave. Straight to his. Okay, I got him out now. Let's see if I can get him to that corner. He's done. He knows I'm after him. All right, let's see. Let's see now. All right, let's see. Where did he go? Watch I start knocking corals down. And I don't want to knock corals down. Oh, the purple tang is trying to help me out. Purple tang just chased him out of that hole. Straight back to the middle of the tank. All right, it is what it is. I'll catch them. I'll catch them. I'll catch them in the morning or in the middle of the night. Let's see. See, did I miss any comments? K Town said, "Let me get CJ." Yeah, man, I need some tips from the undefeated fish catching champ. I think you should use what you have. Do you dose Reef Energy or Aqua Vitro? I think Aqua Vitro is fuel. For me, amino acids, I dose Aqua Power. Miguel, I don't dose any of those other things. I tried one bottle of the Reef Energy, the new version, the AB Plus. I tried one bottle, but that was it. After that, I went back to the Aqua Power. Didn't really see a difference, and it's more. I think it's more expensive than the Aqua Power. I think the only thing about that is it's kind of cool to see the water turn green and all that. But to be honest with you, I don't, I think they all work. That pinto Wrasse is acting kind of weird. He's getting too close to that power head. I got to put the guards back on those primes. If anybody's ever had, not primes, those Neuro 5s. If anybody has ever used those Neuro 5s, you know that those guys are fish shredders. If a fish gets too close to the back, he's done. Joel says, I'm trying to catch one of mine right now. I bought 3 of them 2 days ago. 2 was in the tank together, and the other one was separate. Now they're trying to X him out. So Joel, it sounds like what everybody's saying is once they're done with him, they'll start going at each other until there's one left. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I just added 4, and the one large one that I have is going after all of them. So, we'll see. I'm just gonna let it be. See if he works it out and he establishes dominance, or if he kills them. We'll see. I'll just let it be for tonight, and then if I think it's gonna be too bad, maybe tomorrow morning I'll just turn all the lights on to full capacity and stun them, and then just catch them that way. That typically works. Not that I've ever done that before. But yeah, guys, I'm think I'm gonna be doing more of these streams. Maybe like I said, on Sundays. I don't know if anyone streams on Sundays, so curious to know what kind of videos you guys want to see, what kind of ideas you got for videos. Someone asked me to do a video on cleaning acrylic. Maybe I can do a video on that. I don't know how beneficial that would be because not many people have acrylic. But I typically use polishing cloths like the microfiber cloths. I use this one, which is kind of like the terry cloth, I think, or something like that. And then this one, which is kind of like that soft microfiber. I use this one first to wipe it. I wet this, and then I use this one to kind of polish it down. And that typically works for me. And then when I use my algae magnet, I spray the glass of the outside with water so that it can run smooth. And then I usually just do it that way. It says, tell Cindy you said I'm gonna tell Cindy you said that, K Town. Nobody streams in it. What did K Town say? Nobody streams anymore, so any day will be good. Oh, yeah, I think Cindy. I think Cindy streams. Cindy streams on. I think Cindy streams on what, Saturday? I think something like that. Oh man, he's in the corner. I think I'm gonna try one more time. He's in the corner, guys. I'm gonna try, but you know what? He's not showing any aggression. He's just in the corner with the rest of them. I'm gonna let him be. I'm gonna let him be. You know what? It looks like it's just that one. Looks like he's just chasing that one fish. I wonder if that's a a male or something, and the other ones are females. Because he was just in the corner with the other three, and he wasn't chasing them, but that one started coming over, and he started chasing them. Let's see, maybe a video on keeping parameters stable for SPS. I have LPS, which is more easier than SPS, but I would like to add some SPS in the future. K-Town still reefs. K-Town said not anymore. K-Town, what happened? You got rid of your reef tanks, man? No way. Say it ain't so, K-Town. Acro Breeder said K-Town never reefs, he tortures. Oh, okay. K-Town says I'm still in the game. All right, cool. Keeping parameters. Maybe I can do a video. Wow, yeah, he's really going after that one fish in the corner. All the rest of them, he doesn't really bother them. It's just that one. So I'll have to keep an eye on that and see. Maybe I can take out that one, the one that he's picking on. Maybe take him out and put him in my wife's tank. My wife has a nano. The Tang set up a GoFundMe. That's funny. All right. So man, I wish those wrasses would come out. I'll see them tomorrow though. As long as they don't get caught on a power head, I think they'll be fine. Yeah, man, I think there's something with that one chromis, because that one chromis is hiding up in the top corner, and the other ones are just hanging out right here in the front, and he's not even bothering them. So I'm gonna just let him be. See what happens. See what happens. K-Town, what kind of master plan you have going on right now, man? What kind of I know you've always got some DIY projects going on. Let me shut that light back off. Actually, I know I'm kind of all over the place. What it says, just bringing my tanks back from the brink of extinction. I know what you mean, man. Same thing here. Same thing here, buddy. I know I've said this before, but I think I'm going to Straight Reefer. What's up, man? Joining the stream, man. What's going on? Just showing everybody the update on the tank. I'm gonna leave this stream up so you can see it, but moved houses, so it's new aquascape. Everything is trying to bounce back. But I was just about to say I'm gonna go ahead and set up those primes. I might as well just do it on the stream while I got you guys here. It's always better when you got company, right? So kind of already been toying with the plan on how to do this. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did. You guys get the exclusive right here on the live stream. Fletcher said, let's do it. We're gonna do it, man. I'm gonna set them up right now. I'm just gonna do two. I have three, but I'm just gonna set up two. And and go from there. So I've kind of already been playing with it. So you're gonna see. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you one of the lights. So here's the prime. So basically, I took the arm and I took the one side off, and I took a little L bracket and made a little hook. And so the plan is I'm gonna hook this onto that light. See, I've kind of already made up in my mind I was gonna do it. I've already zip tied them and measured them to make sure that they work, how that they fit up there. But I just never put them up. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So this will hook on the back of the light, or the back of the Q Maven, and it should sit, flush and be nice. So I'm gonna do that now. Let me back up the camera so you guys can see the light. Let me turn on some light in the house. That didn't make much difference. All right, let's see. So I got two here. So basically what I did was I zip tied them together so that I could keep the wires out of the way. And then let's see how this works. So, oh look, that exquisite Wrasse came out. He's right here in the front. Let's see. All right, let's see. They should just hook right up. All right. So I'm thinking if I have one right over this structure, like that, and then one right over this structure. Think like that. All right, let's see. And then I could just run the cables down the side. I'm sure, like all of you guys, everybody knows about us reefers being OCD and having to manage the wires and all that kind of stuff. All right, let me see. How does that look? Let's see. Kind of looks incomplete with just two. But the third one, let me see. Acro Breeder, so that's the Q Maven 2 that I have on the tank. It's a great light, but it's the tank is just deep, man. It's a 30-inch deep tank. So I need something to deal with the shadows, the dark spots that I have in the front of the tank. Yeah, that's so crazy how that chromies is just kind of hanging out on the right side with the other ones, and it's fine. But the one that was in the back, he was just chasing them around. He didn't, he wouldn't let them come out. All right, let's see. It looks kind of weird, but it doesn't make sense to put a light in the middle because I got a cross brace here and there's not really much coral there. I don't know. We'll see. Let me bring it over a little bit. Maybe about right there. Maybe about right there. And then do the same thing with this one. Maybe about right there. It doesn't look like this light is in the center of the tank. I don't know if I could put it in the center just because of the way I have it mounted. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try that. Let me just pull this cable through. Zip tie. All right, let's plug them up. Let's see what happens. I think I was known on my other tank was known for the tank with the primes. Everybody was shocked that I was growing SPS with 3 AI primes. Looks good right there. Okay, cool. Let me get them wired up here. I just picked up an open box prime for 180 on BRS on 4 now. Love them. Okay, cool, man. I'll show you what I just picked up here. My buddy actually won it in a raffle and passed it on to me. The XR15 Blue, Radion XR15 Blue. I'm not gonna put it on this tank though. That's something special coming up with that. Never used Radions before, so I don't have any experience with Radions, how they work. Can't even tell you how to work the actual light itself, but I will be learning. So most likely I'm going to be setting up a frag system with that XR15 and just, experimenting, just seeing the difference in coloration between. So I'll tie it into this system, so it'll be the same water quality, just different lighting. And I'm just curious to see what difference I get with coral colors. That's really the main thing. I mean, obviously I need a frag system once these corals start growing out, but I also kind of just want to see the differences in coloration. So all right, let me see. I took the let me turn off that front strip. That is the marine space, the front light. So let me turn that off. So you guys can see, I just turned that off and you can see how dark it got. Let me turn the lights off. So you can see, I'll turn it back on and then turn it back off again. Let me turn it on just so you guys can see the difference. So there's with it on, you can see that whole front is lit now. All the primes just came on. Nice. That's above my pay grade. Nice score. I need better friends. Yeah, man. I mean, it's more of a mutual thing that he wants me to do the frag system only because he wants me to keep frags for him, and then he'll come and pick them up, once I grow them out. So it's really going to be a frag tank for him, and then whatever I want to put in there, I'll be able to put in there. But it's really going to be his frag tank at my house. So hold on a second. Let me turn off the primes first. I think they should still be set up here. Let's see. Yeah, they are. Perfect. So that means my old schedule is probably still on there too. All right, let me go back to the Apex. All right, so the Q Maven is on right now. I just turned the primes off. Q Maven is on, and the strips are on. So I'm going to turn off the front strip. So I want you guys to see how dark it gets in the front. Straight agreed. All I get stickers and grief. Let me turn off that front strip. Boom. So you can see how dark it got. And that's typically what I get to see at night when I come home. Because those strips have that white spectrum to it, I can't really watch, at night, I can't really look at the tank in all blues and enjoy the front. I only get to see the top of the corals and the ones that are on the top pillar. I could bring the Q Maven more to the front, but then that kind of defeats the purpose. I'm still wouldn't be getting the coloration in the back, and I thought about maybe angling them, bringing them to the front and maybe angling the lights back. But this is just an easier way to do it. I have the primes. They were just kind of sitting in my little fish tank bin of goods. So why not just throw them up there and use them? And then when I get the second Q Maven, I'll use the second Q Maven. So let me turn on the primes now, and let's see what we get here. All right, let's turn on this primes. Let's see schedule. Let's see what happens. I don't even know what the schedule is right now. Did anything happen? Oh yeah, they turned on a little bit, but I think they're already ramping down for the night. Yeah, they're at 8%. So let's bump them up to 50% just to get a reference of what they would look like during the day. Looks a little better. What do you guys think? There's still some shading on that right side. I wonder if that's because I still have the strip blocking. Oh yeah, that strip is still kind of blocking. I'm wondering if I should leave this strip up here or if I should take it down completely. Because this strip also adds like a T5 look to the tank during the day. And I'm sure that has to help for the corals. So I think right there is fine. It's not blocking anything. What do you guys think about that? How does that look? Did that make a difference? Straight Reefer says they make a difference. K-Town says it looks good. Okay. Let me angle this one on the right up a little bit because I noticed that it's a little further down than the other one. Let's see. All right. I'll tell you what though, I can notice maybe the lid could act as a diffuser and help spread the light. Okay, Kevin. So you think if I get a lid, it'll probably, yeah, you're right. It'll probably act as a diffuser, and still it bumped up, and you can still bump it up. Okay, yeah, you're right. Because I only put the blues at 50%. Let me just put up if I was gonna run it like a schedule. I know these lights, I would run them all at 100%. UVs, blues, everything would be at 100%. So let's just turn everything up and see what that looks like. There we go. Now we're getting back to that Jay's Reef look. Those colors popping in the front. If it's scratched acrylic, it will spread the light. Okay, I see what you're saying, but maybe something like frosted acrylic. I get what you're saying. Still got a little shading on that right side by the overflow, but I'm okay with that because I got some low light corals there, some chalices and stuff there, so I'm actually okay with that. Can you move the right one over? Yeah, I can. Yeah, to line up with the left one, right? I just noticed that. How about that? K-Town says. Perfect. All right, cool. Yeah, that actually even put a little bit more light on that right side. But man, you guys can see the shimmer. The primes definitely give a different shimmer than the Q Maven, obviously because it's a single puck light. So that's why it has that nice shimmer like that. Kind of like the Kessels give you that nice shimmer, I guess, because of those single point light. But I definitely notice a better shimmer in the front. Looks nice though. Can't wait to take some pictures. I'm gonna run it like this for a few months and see what we get. Let me straighten up this wire a little bit up top. All right. That's good for now. Tomorrow when in the daylight, I can zip tie everything down and make it look nice and tidy. That looks pretty good. Let me turn the UVs down and just leave the blues up. Actually, let me see what it would look like with some whites on. Oh wow, that looks nice. It really brightens up the front. Nice shimmer. Oh, that's gonna be pretty. That's gonna be pretty, guys. All right, cool. I'm glad we made that call. So I'm gonna run it like this. I'm gonna run it like this for a few months and see. Maybe I won't even get the Q Maven. Maybe I'll just leave it with the primes. Why not, right? We got it. I'll see if we get any color changes though. If there's any color changes in the lights, then I'll have to think about it. Because I definitely don't want to experience any color changes. Let me turn off that back strip and see what happens. That back strip just went off. Now that's just all blue. Looks like it's supposed to be like that. You mean with the LEDs on top? Yeah, it does. It fits, right? It's nice. I'm gonna leave them like that. So let's take a look at the schedule. I don't know if thanks K-Town, great job Mountain, looks awesome, thanks. I don't know if the guy that was asking me about the schedule is still here, but let me take a look at my schedule. Let's see what we're running. Oh, that's definitely not my schedule. I think that's if you guys can see, I think this is Nano Karen's schedule, I want to say. So let's see if I can get in here and pick my schedule. You can see I've got a few schedules here. My schedule is going to be this one right here. This is the schedule that I was running on my 57-gallon tank. And this will be the schedule that if you send me an email, this is the one that you would get. So what I like about the app on the iPad, wherever you put the schedule, the light will automatically go to that spectrum. So it basically hovers around 25% for whites, down to 16. It does that up and down thing. And then I have a peak from 1 p.m. to what time? To 3 p.m. So just 2 hours of peak where the whites are at 50%. And then they go back down to doing that 25 to 16 up and down until they go off. I think I'm going to bring that white peak down since I'm only using them as a filler spotlight in addition to the other lights. I think I'm going to bring that down to I don't know. Let's see. What is this? The drop is at 40. This peak is at 25. So I think I'm going to bring this peak down to 30. And then bring the 50% down to 35. So there's not much movement during the peak. It's only a 2-hour peak anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Bring this down to 30. Well, let's do 25, so we still get a 10% change. And 25 on that dip. 25. And then I'll bring the light down to 35 on the peak. 35. I think that's actually going to be nice. I think the corals are going to appreciate that extra light. They're probably not appreciating it right now because I'm blasting them and they were already falling, you know. All right. Cool. I think I'm going to leave the UVs and the blues like that. And then what I like about the prime is this. I could just save the preset and I'm good to go. Save it. We're going to call this Jay's Reefs 2020. All right. Then we got to pick it. Jay's Reef 2020. There we go. Set. So let me turn them back on because we turned them off. So turn the blues back on for the video. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna run it like that for a while, and it's just that easy. Yep, K-Town, it's just that easy with the primes, man. Is that the schedule you did over? So this was the schedule, straight reefer. This was the schedule that I was running on my other tank. The original schedule, not the new one. I remember I did a modified version, but this was the original one that I was running because that modified one I didn't use much. 2Q Mavens would be awesome on your reef. Yeah, I think so too. I think I like the blanket. Way easy on a tablet versus the phone. Yeah, Kevin, definitely way easier on the tablet. Super easy on the tablet, man. I actually prefer anytime I make a schedule, I would make it on the tablet as opposed to making it on the phone. Yeah, if you go to my video, I'm gonna say I'm 90% sure. I'm gonna go back and double check, but I'm almost positive it's the same schedule from the original one because if I can remember correctly, when I made the modification, I think I extended the blue period, so I had like a longer blue period, and I think I had like a lunar cycle and all that kind of stuff. And the whites were, I think, higher. I think they were higher than 50%. I think they were even closer to like 60%, 70%, something like that. I'm not sure, but that looks similar to what I was originally running. But I'll go back to that video and just double check just to make sure and just because I want to use my original schedule. I don't want to use the modified one. I didn't like what happened with the modified one. The corals didn't seem to appreciate the change. So, so yeah, guys, probably gonna feed the fish here one more time. Actually, let's see if we have access to the smart plug. I'm going to set up my timer. If I can log in, let me see if I can log in. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna set up the timer for the protein skimmer real quick. I actually haven't run the protein skimmer since I've had the tank set up, so I may have to tune it real quick. I can do everything while you guys are here. Look at that. Samsung. Oh, I'm saying my password out loud. All right. All right, cool. I got in. So if you guys if you've ever seen that smart Wi-Fi plug, this is how the app looks. And then you log in and you can see your plug. So you can see I have the hydrofill, like I told you, I have the hydrofill, which is my ATO. I have my skimmer, This plug I have not to use it because for whatever reason that one burnt out, so I don't use it. And then that's my gyro, which you see I have it on a schedule, so it goes off at 2 a.m. and it comes back on at 7 a.m., which I didn't even know it was doing that. I'm going to leave it because it's been like that for a while. And then my skimmer, so I think I'm going to run my skimmer. I actually have a timer here before, but let's see what I had. I had it coming on at 1 a.m., going off at 10 a.m., coming on at 1 p.m., going off at 11 p.m. Okay, so I had it coming on multiple times. So what I'm going to start with is coming on, let's say, midnight. Coming on at midnight, and I think I'm going to just do an 8-hour schedule for now and going off every day, midnight. So coming on at midnight, going off at 8 a.m. every day. And we'll see how that works. So let me turn it on right now and see what happens. Probably gotta let me take you guys down there and see what the skimmer does. It would be nice if my LEDs were working, but I haven't got no set back up either. So a skimmer is a good skimmer, man. It's definitely a workhorse. Just want to make sure it doesn't skim too wet. Where's my other phone with the flashlight? So my bubble break is kind of here. The bubbles are a little bit large though in the neck. I typically like the bubbles to be a little bit more, a little finer. Let's see what the water level is like. Oh, that could be a reason why the water level is low. So that could be a reason why the tank is, why the bubbles are so large. So I'm gonna have to put some more water in it. All right, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm gonna leave this for tonight. I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'll play around with it tomorrow. I don't want to mess around with it right now. Oh wow! I just put that clip on. You guys can see the colors look really nice, man. Looks looking like my old tank again. Let's get the side shot. Looks nice. Now you can really see that pink lemonade right there in the front. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure this guy is gonna change color now that it's under the primes. Under the primes, it was a lot more orange. It had a little more orange, and it didn't look so green. So that's gonna be nice. Looks like this guy's pretty much gone. I'm gonna leave it, but doesn't look like he's gonna make it. Thanks, guys. Um, I got the file before you use the part meter. Okay, cool. Kevin, are you still using the not Kevin, Straight Reefer? Are you still using that schedule? Are you still using the one that my original one? Just curious. Let me turn off that skimmer. I'll figure that out tomorrow. It actually seems like that skimmer is a little noisier than usual. I may have to clean it. Maybe clean that pump or clean the airline. But yeah, Straight Reefer, are you still using that schedule? Just curious, man, because let me see. It says I just started back using it. Just started back using it a month ago. Still doing good. I see. Looks nice. Thanks, CJ. Hey, everybody, welcome the undefeated fish catching champ, CJ Aquarium, to the stream. CJ, you missed it, man. I was trying to catch a chromies and it didn't work out, man. Everybody told me I needed to call you because you were undefeated. Yeah, man, that chromies gave me a run for my money. One for the fish, zero for me, but I'll be back. I'm gonna go train hard, do some push-ups. CJ says I'm 36 and 0. Yeah, it's that one chromies right in the front, man. He was being a you know what to the rest of them. I just put in a four new chromies and he was beating up this one. You can see he's in the corner with the other ones and he's not doing anything. But there's one that he was going after that I think now he's hiding in the back top corner. So I was trying to catch him out, but didn't work. Catch him at 3 a.m. Yeah, that's what I figured, man. I was thinking like, coming down here maybe early in the morning and then just turning all the lights on in the kitchen. It says I got to learn to leave it to see, learn to wait, what? To see, learn to turn results. So I deleted the app. K Town says I told him to use a straw. Yeah, K Town, you gotta do a video on that method, man. Show me how that method works. So CJ, you can see what I did. I know you had the Q Maven, you tested it out for a little bit, but I'm still been running my Q Maven, and I just added the two primes literally just now on the stream. I added the primes because I was getting a little shaded in the front because my tank is 30 inches front to back. So it actually looks pretty nice. I like the way it looks. It brightened up everything, and I'm able to watch the tank at night with those strips that I have. You can't really see the fluorescence at night, so we're gonna run this for a little bit. But I think I'm gonna get another Q Maven just because I like the coloration that I'm getting with the Q Maven. I'm gonna see if the primes change the way some of my acros look, but if they don't, I might just leave it. But most likely, I think I'm gonna get another Q Maven and just have a blanket of lights at the top. It says with a wig so they don't know you. Kevin says get a wig with two nets and a straw. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll come down and catch them. CJ, you still reefing? Yeah, CJ not gonna stop reefing. Just how life gets for all of us, man. We can't make the videos like we want, but tank is always gonna be the first love. My tank been running solo for months, no dosing. I think my alk is 3.2. That's funny. Good game the other day. Football almost over. I put my time into it. Yeah, straight reefer. Earlier you said something about leaving. I think you're talking about the schedule because you're always changing it, I guess. So you deleted the app so you don't change the schedule. That's pretty funny. But yeah, man, that schedule worked for me. I mean, you guys saw my tank, 57 gallon. That schedule worked for me. CJ got COVID last month. That took 3 weeks to recover from. Wow, man, I'm glad to hear you're doing better, CJ. Did you have symptoms, or were you just asymptomatic, or were what symptoms did you have? Just curious, if you don't mind sharing. Well, yeah, straight reefer, man. You just set it and forget it, man. I think you'll see a big difference if you just let it be. try to spread out your changes like every 6 months, maybe. Give yourself at least 6 months to see what happens. Yeah, CJ, I shared earlier that my wife had COVID. I never had it. I never got it. I took a test when she tested positive, and I tested negative. I don't know how, but I tested negative. So I don't know that I ever had it, but she had it for a few weeks until she tested negative. 10 days fever. I was wounded, body aches, fatigue. Wow, I lost 15 to 20 pounds and didn't have to get admitted to the hospital. Just gave me steroids and breathing treatment for my lungs. Oh wow, man! So you actually had one of the more severe cases where you were actually having like flu symptoms and fatigue. Sorry to hear that. Did you lose weight because you didn't have an appetite, like you weren't eating? It's crazy, man. Glad you're okay now. Yeah, for sure, man. Lost weight, not eating, slept a lot, didn't want to move. I see why it takes older people out. Yeah, I had it bad. Had it back in January. Lost smell and taste. Had 3 day fever. Yeah, yeah, CJ. We're glad you're doing better, man. Definitely. Lost smell and taste too. Wow. Yeah, you guys had it bad, man. That's tough. Sorry to hear that. It's definitely one of those things. Takes the fun out of our eating, for sure. Hey, I guess if you can't taste the smell, what's the point, right? That sucks, man. Well, we're glad you're doing better, CJ. Glad you're feeling better. Same for you, producer Reef, man. Glad you didn't have it as bad as CJ did. You only had a 3 day fever. That's good. How long did it take for your smell and the taste to come back? I've heard of so many different types of responses. Couple weeks post fever for a full month, no taste or smell. Wow, that's gotta be brutal, man. That took about weeks to get senses back. Yeah, man, that's tough, man. I can't imagine trying to eat or drink or do anything with no taste or smell. K Town said he's double wrapped. I know what you mean, K Town. I think I have hand sanitizer in my veins now, like running through my system. I've used so much hand sanitizer. It's a part of me now. Man, I wish those fish would come out of that corner, man. They're just all hanging out in that one right side. I'm sure by tomorrow they'll be out. Is West Coast Reefer still on here or he got off already? I want to talk to West Coast about getting some frags, man. I still got a few acros alive somehow. Yeah, CJ, you'll be surprised, man. Those acros are, especially if they came from another tank, man. They usually are hardy. The problem is when if your alk is at 3.2 and you take it back to 8, Oh shoot, my ATO is just turned on. Give me a second. I gotta put some more. salt water because I was acclimating the fish. Forgot about that. Let me turn that off. Let me put some more salt water. Acclimating those fish. I lost a lot of salt water, and I know that's why the ATO turned on. Two fish survived velvet. I haven't added anything else in months. Yeah, I'm gonna test out to see where it really is. Gotta be super slow. Calcium reactor been offline. Man, so CJ, are you sure it was velvet, man? Did you really have velvet? That's weird, man. And so what fish? I'm curious. What fish survived? They were probably like wrasses or something like that. No idea, but I lost everything but two wrasses months ago. Yeah, wrasses aren't affected by ick and velvet for the most part. For some reason, their slime coat is thicker. The radiant and the pink scarlet wrasse are alive. Oh, that's awesome, man. I lost my radiant wrasse when I moved the tank to the new house. I just moved the tank. Lost every wrasse that I had in the tank, CJ. You remember you did a video on my tank, so you remember all the wrasses I had. I had so much fish in the little 57-gallon, and I moved them over, but lost all my wrasses, every single one. Yep. So I just put in today. I put in 4 blue-green chromies, 4 of those bell damsels, yellow belly damsels, a pair of firefish, the African firefish, and then I got an exquisite wrasse and a pintail wrasse. Just put those in there. So hopefully by tomorrow they're out swimming around, and hopefully I can find a radiant wrasse. Our LFSs here are pretty good about getting fish. Even during the pandemic, we never really had a shortage. I mean, the prices definitely went up, but there was always fish. It just everything was so expensive. Now things are finally starting to get normal again. It's just that everyone's home now, so it's like as soon as a fish goes in the store, you either got to be there to get it or you're not gonna get it. Hard to find them. Usually be back around January. They're seasonal fish. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I have a wholesaler that I'm good friends with that will usually give me the heads up when fish comes in, and then I have a lady that owns an LFS that she'll go and pick them up for me. So I kind of do that whole song and dance. He'll let me know what he has. I'll tell her, hey, go, can you get this fish for me? And then she'll go and get it. Out of respect for the LFSs, he won't sell directly to me, which I'm fine with that. Everybody has to get their part. So hopefully I can find fish on my wish list. I want to get a radiant wrasse, of course. I want to get my tamarin wrasses back. I want the red tail, the yellow tail, and the China wrasse. Um, I want to get a trio of, maybe not a trio, but I definitely want to get a yellow chorus wrasse or two. Um, and then I think those are all the wrasses for as far as the ones I bury in the sand that I want. And then for fairy wrasses, I want to get a golden rhomboid wrasse, a solar rinses wrasse, and then I have a pair of flame wrasses that someone's holding for me that I'm gonna go pick up probably in a few weeks. A buddy of mine is holding them for me. I'm gonna go and get those and see if I can acclimate them in. It would have been nice if I can put them in with the, if I could have put them in with the pintail and the exquisite to limit the aggression. But fairy wrasses are usually pretty non-aggressive, so hopefully I don't have any issues with that. Then that's it for wrasses. And then, of course, I want to get the Reef-safe angels, the Bellis angel, Swallowtail angel, and the Watanabe angel, those 3 angels, and that'll be it. I'll be fully stocked. All right, catch y'all later. Gotta roll. All right, CJ, thanks for dropping in. I'm actually gonna fill this tank with some water, and then I'm gonna actually be jumping off myself. All right. What did I miss? CJ took off. Later, CJ. All right, K-Town. See you. All right, guys. I'm gonna jump off as well. Thanks for joining in on the stream. I'm gonna definitely leave this stream up. I think I'm gonna start doing these on Sundays. I think Sunday's a good night for me. So I'll try to start getting these in once a week. And in addition to any videos that I'm able to put out. No problem, K-Town, man. Thanks a lot for joining, man. Thanks for jumping on. So all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you guys on the next stream, maybe next week. Look out for me, maybe Sunday. K-Town says get the hangouts working. Yeah, I gotta figure that out, man. I don't even know if that's still a thing or not. I think it is because I think Cindy does it. So we'll have to figure that out. But all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. All right.